Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to Monday Marketing with Suzanne. This is week 2 of our 6-week planning series, Planning for 2021. I'm Suzanne Moore, and I help independent entrepreneurial women figure out what the 2 to 3 things they really need to be working on in their business are so that they are really focused and the revenue is coming in rather than they're playing whack-a-mole and hoping that things work out. Um, Okay, so this week I want to talk about making the goals that you have a reality. And by the way, if you are here, I would love for you to say hi, in the chat, give me a like, let me know that you've come by, whether you're here live or whether you're here for the replay. I always love to know who's checking things out and getting their planning done for the new year. So, last week I talked a little bit about being kind to yourself, recognizing that 2021, just like 2020, we don't really know what's ahead of us. There are some hopeful signs, but please take the time to plan in such a way that you are respecting the fact that you cannot go, 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 go. If you have people to take care of in your life, if you have external forces that are not allowing you to be at full capacity right now, that's okay. And kindness to yourself will pay off. That said, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be making big goals for yourself. It just means that maybe it's 1 or 2 big goals instead of a big goal every month, right? So today I want us to really identify those goals for the coming year. And what I want us to do is I want to state the goal for yourself. I want you to be really clear on it. And around that goal, I want you to be very specific about a few things. So the first is the timing of the goal. So for example, you may say, I'd like to write a book in the new year. Well, what does that really mean? Does it mean that if you have a manuscript by the end of the year, that'll be good? Or does it mean that you want to write it, publish it, and launch it all in the year? And let, break that down into what is going to need to be done and what is realistic given what you have ahead of you in the year. Okay? So, whatever that goal might be, or those goals might be, I want you to be really specific about the timeline of them and consider what needs to be done along in the timeline. Okay, so and break them down into milestones, right? So perhaps your goal is to launch a new program. Well, do you have all the content for the program already, or do you need to create the content? Do you have the necessary support for the program? Do you already have people clamoring to buy from you? And should you get a sales page up and sell the program and then build it as you move forward? There are all different ways to do things. None of them are necessarily right or wrong if they work for you, but you want to be clear about what your goals are throughout the year and to create milestones for yourself. What if your goal is to launch a podcast? Well, you need to decide on the type of podcast you're going to do. You need to probably do some pre-recording. You need to know that, is it an interview style podcast? Okay, so you've got to line up interviews. What type of materials do you need from the people you're interviewing? All of these steps and the creation of systems around all of these steps will make the doing of whatever it is you're doing easier and more successful. So take the time to really think about your goal, break down the steps, and give yourself milestones throughout the year or the 6 months or the quarter, depending on what you are focused on and how quickly you want to achieve it. Then what you really need to do is look at what you've mapped out and say to yourself, okay, where are my biggest challenges going to be with this? Because let's face it, there's nothing that we're trying to get done that doesn't cause us challenges, right? Um, so where are my biggest challenges going to be? And how am I going to solve those challenges? So, are your challenges technological in nature? Do you need to bring someone on to help you? Are they what everybody's challenge is? Time, 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 right? Um, are they that you don't know something that you need to know in order to achieve the result, right? So if it's a podcast, you don't know what platform you should deliver it on, or you don't know how to sign up to make sure that it would be available on iTunes or on whatever the iTunes, I think it's iTunes, right? Podcasts, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, for me, I knew that I wanted to write a book, but I knew that I needed an editor, and I knew that I needed someone to tell me what a realistic timeline was going to be, right? And so I have found that person, because that is one of my major 2021 goals. I will publish a book next year. So, whatever it is, consider what you're going to need in terms of support and make sure that you work toward getting that. Include that in your timeline and milestones so that instead of getting to that point and going, oh crap, I don't know how to move forward anymore, you instead go, yes, I knew I was going to have a problem with this, or I knew I was going to have a lot of questions around this, and I got the support that I was going to need to have on board, right? So really identify those challenges and figure out what you're going to need in order to overcome them now instead of when you're in the middle of them. And then listen, we can set up milestones all day long, right? But if we don't look at our calendars honestly and say, I'm carving out time to work on these goals, they probably won't happen. And so, what I am going to recommend to you is that you look at your 2021 calendar right now and block out time to work on these goals. Maybe it's a 2-hour block once a week. Maybe it's 30 minutes every day. Maybe it's an hour every day. Maybe it's one day a month that you hide and you give to this goal. I personally would recommend, especially if you don't always feel like you are in charge of your time, as I do not, I personally recommend shorter windows of time more often. And the reason for that is sometimes things happen that take us out of our ability to uh, fulfill that commitment to ourselves. And I say this because I had this happen last week. I was supposed to have a 3-hour block to work on my big goal, and instead I had a blow up with a melting down child and teachers that I needed to talk to, and a lot of things that took me off course for the day. But you know what? It was one day, one 3-hour block, right? I have other ones. I have other ones this month. I have other times set up. So instead of feeling, oh my gosh, I lost the one time this month that I was going to work on this project, I thought, okay, I lost a day. That's okay because I have other days upcoming. So if you, again, are not always in charge of your own time, and if you are like me and family things sometimes take over, give yourself the gift of having time blocked across different weeks so that if one day blows up or 1 hour blows up, you can still achieve your goals. So that is what I really wanted to cover today. I hope this series is helping you. I would love to hear about your own planning and work, whether it's in the comments or any other way you want to share it with me. Next week, we're going to talk about how you can be really strategic about bringing more value to your clients and customers in the new year. So we're going to talk about different strategies for bringing more value. If you are struggling with any of the things that I have discussed so far in the series, I would love for you to connect with me and have a strategy session. You can book that at schedulewithsuzanne.as.me. Again, schedulewithsuzanne.as.me. And I appreciate everyone who pops in, says hello, and checks out these videos. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday.